And she was spending so much time trying to manage the emotions of other people. And you can't do that because that's the quickest way to lose sight of your own character. And it doesn't allow them to become their own characters, to where they show up to Isha and say, here's the problem I'm having and the resource that I need. We need everyone being their own characters and not trying to manage the story. So at the end of the day, you need to invest in your character. And remember that even though you've been told forever and ever to put other people first, you are the main character of this story. You can be the hero, you can be the villain, you can be the love interest, I don't care, but you are the main character, so invest in it. The second thing you have to look at is emotions. And I think a lot of times women get called emotional, which is very unfair. And then we realize, okay, I don't need to be emotional, so I can't express emotions. And when I can't express emotions, it means I actually don't notice them or know how to process them. The function of emotions is to drive rapid behavior. So anything that you've done in your life was driven by an emotion. You just may not have known it. It may have been out of fear, it may have been out of disgust, it may have been out of happiness, it may have been out of anger. Whatever the case is, people come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't like how my life is going, or I don't like how my career is going, I keep making these stupid decisions. Right, but what were the emotions behind those decisions? And they don't know. But it's one of the easiest ways to make your life make more sense and to have more interesting plot lines is to know that your behavior is being driven by these emotions. So here's what you gotta do. You gotta ask yourself, where do I feel this in my body? So my client, Julie, is the CEO of a pretty major nonprofit. And her big issue, her current issue, let's say that, is delegating. And she's really gotten to this space where she's delegating, but then what happens is she delegates this project, the project makes someone kind of stressed out, she senses that stress, and then she pulls the project back. So we were on a session the other day, and she said, I did it again. I was in the middle of a board meeting, or not a board meeting, executive leadership team meeting, and somebody had some stress about a project I'd handed off a couple of months ago, and I just couldn't, I was just so flabbergasted, I just took it away, and now I'm upset with myself. I said, let's slow down that moment. Where did you feel it in your body before you took that project back? And she thought for a minute and she said, oh, I get this lump in my throat. It's like a ledge and it makes it hard to, like right before you cry, that kind of feeling. I said, okay, what was this emotion telling you? Is it a familiar emotion? Do you get this a lot? And she said, yeah, growing up, I remember I'd always have this lump in my throat if I thought I was being judged or I thought I was in trouble. Now, this is an infinite straight A student. Like, I don't think she's ever been in trouble in her life. But for whatever reason, she thought maybe there was possibility that she could be in trouble. And she said, I remember one time a principal called me down to his office, and I didn't know why I was being called down. And I remember that walk and having that real big lump in my throat. And so I asked the final thing is, what do you normally do when that's the case? And she said with the principal, she walked down and she thought, okay, whatever happens in this room, I'm going to make sure that I'm really like pleasing and helpful and make sure at the end of this that if I am in trouble, I've fixed it and that he likes me again. This was something that she thought she had when she was very, very young. So what did she do right when she felt that emotion in that meeting? She didn't want to be judged. She didn't want people to look at her and go, why would a leader give this? Why would they delegate this? So she took it back. She couldn't stand that feeling. And I told her freedom is the space between stimulus and response. So now what I coached her to do is she has to sit there and breathe and swallow until that lump goes away. And you know, the first few times you do that, you got to sit there and swallow for a while. But now she can do it a little bit more rapidly because she's thinking about this lump. And she is not allowed to talk or take action until that has passed. But now she can pick up on it. Now she knows this is what's driving her. And she's not going to now take away other things. She's not going to take back those projects she delegated. Freedom is the space between stimulus and response. So if you are a person that tends to say yes, you're probably saying it quickly. Give your space an hour before you respond to the email. If somebody comes up to you and asks you a question, do not feel compelled to answer in that moment. You can buy yourself time because that will allow you to then understand the feelings and better control the next movements that you want to make. I'm not calling you to tell you that this is a situation that's now your obligation. I'm calling to tell you about a problem, and it's not you to blame. So I want to pause for just a minute. And I want you, if you're willing and able, to stand up to the microphone and tell me what is the lie that you tell yourself.
I'm going to get in trouble.
You're going to get me in trouble?
No, I believe I'm going to get in trouble.
What's the lie you tell yourself?
That's the
Oh,
lie.
that you're going to get you in trouble. It's a head scratcher. How does that manifest itself?
Always trying to be nice, play nice, make peace, right?
Yeah.
So that I don't get in trouble. So
Yeah.
it's always like, there's a defensive feeling to it. And it actually resides like right here in my gut and my heart.
I think that's very much connected to what I feel too, this belief that I've done something wrong and I'm going to be called out on it and I'm going to be in trouble. And this is coming from someone, and I would imagine this is true for you too, who actually didn't get in trouble a lot. Oh.
Well, I got blamed for things that I didn't do.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I find that a lot of times with that lie, we're afraid to even test the consequences. The consequences of what could happen are so uncomfortable, and we don't want to sit with that discomfort.
Yep.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Someone else, tell me a lie you tell yourself. Can you come up to the microphone just so I can? I mean, you can still talk like she did, and I won't hear it, apparently. I wonder if you felt like you were in trouble when I couldn't understand what you were saying. That would have been funny if she was like, just never mind. Yes.
A lie I tell myself is that I'm okay.
Oh.
See?
Oh.
I think that's a big thing. Everybody says that they're okay, and they're really not. So.
I love that.
A loaded answer.
What would it feel like to say I'm not okay?
Probably a lot of tears and understanding of some things to help me actually be okay.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
It's that resistance that you have about admitting you're not okay, right? And it's prioritizing that mental health that we talked about. And you're doing both of those things. You're going against the resistance that you're feeling, and your quickest path out is through.
Yeah.
So you just have to say, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it right here in front of hundreds of people.
No.
But if you want to catch me backstage, we can talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Dr. Myers-Morgan.
Yes.
Dr. Stacy Wayman. Mine is at the same time I'm feeling I'm not enough, I'm feeling I'm much too much.
Oh, yes. Meaning people tell you your personality is too big?
They say, you're here, we need you about here. Yeah, I get that a lot.
I relate to that. Are these predominantly people that are men?
Generally speaking, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what would it change? What story could you say instead? If that's your lie, what could actually be the truth?
They need to change their appetite.
Oh. Damn. Yes. That's not a you problem. That is a them problem.
A them problem, yes.
And I definitely have come up against that a lot, where I always feel like I'm not enough and have been told I am too much. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, what size am I supposed to be? And the point is, you should never shrink or grow yourself to make other people feel comfortable. Exactly. You already know that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yes. Oh, sorry. Were you already there?
I think she was first.
Okay.
Myself into this, so now you have to stay there.
Are you talking about having kids? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Thankfully, they're almost out. So, no, just kidding.
How does that look in your working world?
I think certain times, like I haven't wanted to push myself to a different opportunity.
Oh.
Because like people just expect me to do something, and it's like, okay, I kind of got myself into this role, so I guess I should stay here, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I get that a lot, because it's almost like you give yourself too much credit for being the only person that put you there, and you must stay there, but it was actually the circumstances of who you were before. And being able to let go of who that person is and embrace who the new person is difficult. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah.
I have to keep pushing through this event, through this day, through this situation. I don't give myself time to stop and say, I don't have to push.
Oh my gosh. What happens in your mind? What's the magical thinking if you stopped pushing?
That everything falls down.
You are so powerful. You're the one I wanted to meet. You're the one in charge
I'm
of
right
all
here.
the
I'll be down
things.
front.
I love telling women on one hand, you're so powerful, and also you are not that powerful, right? That's a heavy feeling that if I don't rise up, everything will fall. And I think, but wouldn't it be fun to play that a little bit? Wouldn't it be fun to see if it all fell apart and all burned? And it was just something to think about. Let it all burn. Yeah. Oh, sorry, there's 2 microphones, yes.
Hi, I don't need help. I can do it all by myself. And that's, I think, the biggest lie that we all tell ourselves,
Yes.
especially being a mom and being an employee and, you know, being a friend, a sister, everything. It's that we don't need anyone to help us, but I think that's the biggest lie we tell ourselves.
What are you afraid of if somebody helps you? What do you lose?
I mean, I think sometimes it comes from trauma of feeling like it's not going to be done right, or there's going to be kind of what she was saying, like you're going to get in trouble, or also just feeling like you want to do everything the way that you need to do it. And especially, I have a 15-year-old, and there was a point where we had a huge blow up because I was so mad that she didn't help me, but I never asked her for help. And she was like, Mom, you're getting upset, but you've never said, help me do the dishes, help me clean, help me do this. And I guess I expect it versus asking for it because I think I can do it all by myself.
Thank you for sharing that. We go with what is familiar. And so if you're always used to being, I'm guessing you're an excellent dinner party host, and nobody can be in the kitchen with her. If we're always used to that, we sort of keep getting ourselves in these situations where we're still not being helped, and then I think every mother can relate to that when we look at our kids' messy bedrooms and start screaming. We know what that feels like. And again, I would just test the consequence of often we've never tried, and if we just let a little bit of help in, what would actually happen if we did that? Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Hi, thank you. The lie I tell myself often is I don't deserve to be here. Whether today or just, a new position, a new role, like, do I deserve it? And I think a lot of times that allows me to question myself before I'll say something that I think I should definitely say. But, like, did I earn that position in that meeting to speak on that topic yet? Or can I go there yet? So that's probably the most common lie that I tell myself.
So you almost have to earn a position you already have. You're kind of always like one down from everybody, right? That's a terrible, terrible feeling, and I relate to that a lot. What would be a better truth for you?
I don't think I have the answer to that yet. I thought you were going to give it to me.
Right. No, that's fair. That's completely fair. Let me point out something. The assumption is I know the answer, right? You're sitting in boardrooms thinking they know the answer. I'm looking at you going, I may have the microphone, but I don't have the answer. And one thing that being in academics for 15 years has taught me is everyone's kind of an idiot, right? It's rare that I'm in a meeting where I go, yes, everything they've said is great. And when I can stop and kind of think about the way other people carry themselves, it kind of lowers the bar for me. But I hope that I'm sure you're surrounded by remarkable people, and I can tell you are remarkable as well. But don't give people, especially me, that much power to know everything. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Hello. So first of all, almost every one of these has resonated with me, which I think by the oohs and ahs it has with everyone else. But for me, it's kind of you're not doing enough / you're not trying hard enough / you are responsible for everything, and why are you not doing it? What's wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. And so probably trying to go to sleep at night is really tough for you. Yeah.
Let's sleep.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
What do you want the truth to be? That you are enough?
Yeah. And other people are capable as well.
Right. Despite what I just told her. Yes, other people are very, very capable. Yeah. I do think that even just saying that, right? I am enough. I'm enough in this moment. I'm going to do what I can do, and I'm going to move on. Might start to shift the way that you think about that. But I wonder how we get this way, how we get to this point where we've let other people convince us we're still not doing enough. And I don't know if we'd believe someone if they told me, right? If they were like, yes, you've reached it, you've arrived, you're done. I don't think that I would believe them. So I hope you can change that story for yourself. Thank you for sharing. Yes.
I can't say no. And I think a lot of people have that problem.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have to keep saying yes, and then your plate gets higher and higher, and that's professional and personal.
Have you ever tried no?
It's hard.
She can't even say no.
No, I haven't.
She's just like, Yeah, I remember one thing that happened when I did my first no. I was sitting on a board of a nonprofit I really love, and I was the president, and they kept inviting me to every single meeting, so I kept accepting every single meeting, and suddenly I was like, do I work here? Because I was at this organization so much, and I finally pulled the executive director aside, and I said, I feel really bad, but I can't do all this stuff. She's like, oh, you don't have to say yes. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. They weren't even expecting me to say yes. They were thrilled I was saying yes, but it wasn't an expectation. So I remember hitting no on a calendar invite, and nothing happened. Nothing. You know what happened? They sent me another one, right? Like, what you find is when you say no, they still keep coming. You're not actually letting go of opportunities. You're bringing in the right ones. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah.
Hi. I really appreciate you coming here and speaking your truths and talking about everything that you've been saying. One of the big lies that I tell myself, and I totally understand where it comes from, is I'm unworthy, whether it's I'm unworthy of love, I'm unworthy of friendship, I'm unworthy of these positive things that are coming my way. I am not worthy.
And how does that show up today?
For me, it shows up, in maybe doubting myself. Maybe I am not doing enough. Maybe I need to be, doing more. Maybe I'm not busy enough. I need to wake up at a certain time. I need to be on the go. And if I don't achieve everything in my checklist in one day, I failed.
Who wrote the checklist?
Me.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to sound really easy, but do less. Yeah, do less. Because I think that you're on this weird cycle of, I don't feel good enough, so I'm going to keep going. And then that's just cycling into not feeling worthy enough. And I wonder what would happen if you just stopped the hamster wheel, which again, is one of the easiest things I can say from my position. But I have absolutely felt you, and every lie that I've heard up here, I have felt and dealt with. But I do hope that you know, and I know that me saying it means nothing, but you are worthy just in standing where you are doing nothing. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is May. Mine is, I don't have time, but specifically for me things.
Oh, okay. So like you can't go to the gym because you don't have time.
Exactly.
Right.
Or like I have to work through lunch today because I have too much on my plate. Or pushing out stuff that fills your cup, like therapy or spending time with family and friends, but prioritizing all the things that other people are expecting.
Right. But do you brush your teeth every morning?
Yep.
Yeah, well, there you go. And at night?
Sure do.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, time is a funny thing because it's very rarely, at least the people that I work with, it is very rarely a scheduling issue. It is almost always a head issue of this isn't worth it, I'm going to get behind on other things. And so as I said before, this is why going internal, right? We think about climbing up the mountain. I argue you go into the mountain. And this is a case where it's not really about blocking time or getting the right productivity clock, because I've gotten them all and none of them work. It really is kind of a head thing and switching into I am worthy of the time spent on me. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. My God, the vulnerability in this room is remarkable. And I'm so glad that I was able to share what I shared and for you all to share what you shared. I just want to end by saying that not everyone is a writer, but everyone is a storyteller. So question the stories that you tell yourself. Thank you very much.